Hello, welcome to Romantic Wednesdays with Poetry. I'm Alisa Agnes, your host, and I believe it's time to get real and spill some tea or coffee. Okay, so today we're starting a totally new chapter, or actually cycle, which is the 9th one. It's called Traitorous Romeo. And today you will learn more about a letter to Juliet and 7 days. So the first title is literally a little letter, and I'm thinking that maybe I won't read it here. So if you'd like to check it out, simply go to my YouTube channel, just search for Alisa Agnes double L 1S, and I will simply tell you here what it's about, where this idea comes from, and what this whole cycle is about. And later I will also read you the first poem from the cycle, which is called 7 Days, and I will tell you also a few juicy things about this one. So at first I will tell you a few words about this whole cycle and about Letter to Juliet. So as you already probably know, it was inspired by the story of Romeo and Juliet, what is a drama written by William Shakespeare. And if you've been listening to my podcast and maybe you've read my books, then you already know that Shakespearean kind of inspiration is a very important thing in my writing. And that's because, when I was 16, I was attending to such a workshop that was all about theater and acting and Shakespeare. And and this is where this thing comes from, but also it's also very important because these days I work on my 4th book, and Isabella Czartoryska, this is such a duchess that really lived in 18th, 19th centuries, and she really also loved Shakespeare and his plays, and she even bought a chair from his house, and she had it in her very first museum that existed on Polish lands. And this fact that my drama and my character Elizabeth was inspired by Isabella, then it means that this inspiration also appears in my new book, which will come out soon, but I still have a lot to work on. So yep. Now you understand where the idea of Romeo and Juliet comes from, and now I will tell you more about this cycle. So it was inspired by the real experience of mine, which was about a betrayal on so many levels, and I don't have words for this, but I don't want to say more because it's a very sad experience. And I decided to put all my feelings in poetry, and that's why I wrote this cycle and the next one. But this one is a very specific one because it's all about this very first moment of finding out what is happening. And this letter to Juliet is some kind of letter that I would give to myself. And it's about the realization that what is meant to be simply has to happen, and if he is meant to be with you, then he will come back. And you know that maybe it happened once, maybe twice or more, that he left you for somebody else, but you know, and he knows as well, that you will always find each other anyway. So this is kind of what this letter is about. It's about patience and give it some time, because in the end everything will be alright and just the way it's supposed to be. And it's about not giving up. So it's like telling Juliet, you can't kill yourself because of that, because maybe there is a reason why it's all happening. Maybe this poetry that you're writing is a message that somebody also needs to read. Maybe you've been through all of this for a bigger purpose. And this is kind of what this letter is about. And also, I told you about this a bit in the previous episode, so it's also an alternative kind of story where I wonder what if Romeo and Juliet ended in a very different way. Like maybe this love is really deep and amazing and beautiful, but what if, except the love for you, he also would have love for other women? Because at the very beginning of this drama, we have Romeo who was crazy about another woman, and then he met Juliet, and he made me wonder, what if Juliet never made Romeo change, and what if he kept looking for other women after Juliet? And this is what this cycle is really about. So despite it's inspired by my real experience, I decided to focus on this story that I created of Romeo and Juliet, of this alternative, very sad story. And you may not like this, but I just felt like it was a right thing to do, to, not to be angry about this whole situation, but to just keep writing. And in the end, I think I'm fine, but it was a really dark time in my life when I needed to tell myself that I'm still innocent, if you know what I mean. So, I think that's all about this opener. So right now I will read you 7 Days. It's the first poem from this cycle. So that's 7 days. It's strange how 7 days ago I told myself it's heaven, paradise. Every worry fades. It's strange how 7 days ago we taught ourselves we're alone. We love tenderly and sweet. It's strange how 7 days ago I could already feel the fog on my eyes, under my feet. It's strange how 1 week can change everything. Peace and stress in clouds. It's strange how 1 week can make it easy to ignore 3 unwanted messages a day. It's strange how one week can bring so many reasons for a heart to break. So that's 7 days. And at first I need to tell you something that I also already mentioned before. I also created a playlist those 5 years ago on Spotify, which I also called 7 Days. And it was all about the heartbreak, but also about hope. But this, poem is about this strange realization that even though 7 days ago everything was perfect and there were just 2 of you, but you could already feel that something was wrong, and you could feel like something might happen soon and it wouldn't be a good thing. So this poem is actually about this sudden change of somebody's heart. It's about the paradise which disappears forever. And even though it was a paradise, you knew that it wasn't actually real. And it's also about knowing that sometimes things change really fast, and it's all simply very strange that things can change like that. Well, it's a really sad story and a really sad cycle, but I think I really needed to write it. Well, I think that's all that I can tell you about this cycle, about this idea, inspiration, and about this poem. And later, the next week, I will tell you more about next 2 poems. Truth Will Save Us and The Darkest Night of Suffering. So these 2 poems are shorter. One is about the truth and the idea that maybe all you really need is truth. And another one is about a night, a very dark night, and you suffer so much. Well, it's a very sad cycle, as I've already told you, but unfortunately we'll be discussing such a very tough kind of stories and poetry, a very tortured poetry, but well, it's sometimes also important to talk about such things, because life is all about ups and downs, and we wouldn't know how sweet paradise can be if we haven't been through hell. And well, that's probably all that I can tell you today. You already know what to expect, so until the next time. Bye.